go through the next 2 sessions of everything that they will do before the apple falls off the apple cart, and that's the investments. Okay? Because it's like the last thing you think of, not the first. They want you to think that that's the first thing you think of, and that's why you're paying the commission. So this is an unbelievable how much work that they have to do for this $250 just for you to stay. But I want you to understand how the compensation system works. Any questions on compensation? If I bring $5 million into you, is it still 1%?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's negotiated. You read that ADV, and it can be negotiated.
Okay.
So it depends, really. Our fees are based on how much work it's going to be over time.
How about personality? Will you charge more for somebody who's negative or angry?
That's why David charges you too.
That's why. That's why he charges me too.
He won't do business with anyone that is negative or ornery.
Okay. Then we have in the we have here below that box is a check a box that says I offer or sell annuities, insurance, mutual funds, or other financial products, or my employer is affiliated with a person or organization that offers or sells annuities, insurance, mutual funds, or other financial products. And they put down false. Okay? And the reason why that question is there is that if you go to a Wells Fargo, what does Wells Fargo own? They own a trust company, they own a mortgage company, they own a reverse mortgage company, they own insurance, and there's all sorts of cross-selling going on all the time. And so he's not genuinely a fee-only advisor if he's cross-selling, and that's why we asked that question. And then he puts down here on the bottom that he certifies that the above is true and correct. It takes about 2 minutes to complete this, and this little sheet of paper is worth its weight in gold. Okay? Because every single brokerage contract that you sign, what are kind of the questions do they ask you? Have you recently opened up a brokerage account? I mean, it's like 4 pages. They want to know what your net worth is. They want to know what your experience is in the financial services industry. They ask you all these questions.
Because of the suitability.
Because they want to figure out what product they're going to sell you. That's why they want to know that.
Also, they know that people always brag.
Yes. Because in this industry, if you were with a broker, you want to be dumb. You don't want to be smart. Okay? Because they can't sell sophisticated. Bob Citron is the perfect example. What did Bob do?
Treasurer.
Yeah, what? Who was his quote-unquote advisors?
Merrill Lynch.
Yeah. What did Merrill Lynch sell? Bob. Exactly. And what was his defense when he went on trial? He was dumb, and he was. He didn't, first of all, he wasn't a dumb man, but he was way beyond what he had expertise in. Derivatives are enormously technical, difficult, complex, because it's not like a CD. Bob was a genius in the CD area. Okay, he could smell a bank that was offering a small percentage more, and he would go after it. I served 5 years on the board of directors of the American Heart Association as a staff person. So I saw him once a month or once every quarter, and he really didn't know anything about the financial services area. And he was taken for a ride. And Merrill Lynch is still doing business in Orange County. I can't believe it. It caused a bankruptcy, and people still do business with them. They're great sales guys. They are so good. It's just unbelievable. And it goes on all the time. People do not understand what they are buying. And so that's why it is ask first. If you go to arbitration, by the way, in a broker statement, do they give you anything that they promise to do for you? No. They don't hand you one sheet of paper. Okay? No, they don't. Okay? It's all about their warnings, etc., etc. I wouldn't do business without one of these things. And we're not going to, in the future speakers, we're going to go through this 10 times more rapidly than we are today. But I wanted you to understand the subtleties of this Ask First form and how valuable it is. It's one of the best things in your packet. Use it with anybody who's going to be advising you on money, whether it's an attorney, whether it's a CPA, whether it's an insurance agent, etc. Don't listen to them until they complete this form. By the way, both of these guys are really nice guys. In addition, you know? But they're also very qualified. So one of the things is that, David, do you manage your money exactly the same way you do as your clients?
Yes.
So he eats his own cake, okay? Which is good to know. You've been around in Laguna Beach how long?
Well, most all my life.
So how old are you?
My parents moved here in 1960.
How old are you?
I'm 60, almost 66.
It's hard to say, isn't it?
He's right behind me. All of our aches and pains.
And that's why Kirk is here too, because hopefully Kirk is going to stay with David and carry on the business. So
We're all older than you.
yeah. So it's wonderful. We're going to talk about financial planning and for the next 2 sessions. So if we don't get to everything in your outline today, don't get frustrated. We'll get to it next week. David, Kirk, it's all yours.
Okay, Kirk and I talked about it. I'm going to start off and just give a little bit of an overview of what we're going to do, and then Kirk's going to take over for today, and then next week you'll hear more from me on asset allocation and a few other things. First of all, it's great to be here, and it's an honor. See my friend Tony here that we went through high school together, and one of my sister's best friends, and if you want a treat, talk to Tony afterwards and see if she'll introduce her to her mother, who's, the other day I ran into her, she was out sweeping the driveway right next to my office, and I said, "Dot, how are you?" She goes, "Fine, Dave," and she's all humped. She's 99 years old. And she has stories about Laguna Beach back when, and she tells them. It's terrific. It's good to see you, Tony. Okay, financial planning. It is.
Are we going to go through the? You going to go through the outline?
This is the outline that we're gonna kind of talk from, but we can't do everything in here. But if you look through it, take it away and look through it, and you have questions about anything in here, you can talk to us after the meeting, or we'll answer any question. But we're not going to have time to go through all of this.
You're going to be here next week. Huh?
Yes, we're going to be here next week.
Is this a 2-week?
A two-week outline.
Coverage.
And first of all, what is financial planning? You know, I went on Google last night and I Googled financial planning, and I got 63,000 hits on what financial planning was. The #1 paid program was People with Merrill Lynch, and then it's a variety of all the major brokerage companies, banks. They all do financial planning. CFP board that we talked about, the CFP is dedicated to the CFPs. So when I talk about financial planning, it's really what the CFP board talks about financial planning. So that's the way we'll do it. You can download, go into the CFP board and get all kinds of public disclosures and what we do. But basically what the CFP board says, that there's a process to financial planning, which we observe.
The only thing is we didn't talk about, in the slide on here, it says Chartered Financial Analyst, a CFA. You know, you had asked what credentials can we trust? CFA is one of those credentials that you can put more reliance on. It's a 3-year program. Most individuals who run mutual funds are CFAs. They're kind of the engineers of the financial services world. They read everything having to do with the companies, the
Balance sheets and
Balance
income statements
sheets.
of companies.
Yeah.
And they can tell how sound they are.
Yeah, so
Very
that-
good designation.
very good, very difficult to get. CFA is absolutely top notch.
Yeah,
But
there's a couple from the insurance, the CHFC and the CFA, they're also from the insurance industry. Those are the top. And they would be pretty much equal to a CFP. So
we also, David didn't talk about, and when we were talking about, you guys are fee only, right?
Yes, we are fee only.
What would it be is if I said, you said, what does fee-based mean?
Well, fee-based just opens up the doors. It's like a fee and anything else. And that's what Smith Barney salesmen, quite often, I get a lot of clients in, they say that they're fee-based, and it sounds so close to fee only that the public is really confused. It's not. Fee-based means that we charge fees, but there are other charges too that we can put in there. And sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. And we don't disclose those. They don't disclose those when they happen. So fee-based is a red flag. There's nothing wrong. I want to say something, Pete. As an old stockbroker, there are some terrific stockbrokers out there. Very, very principled and can help people very much and very bright. But it's a tough field. And the older stockbrokers and some of the ones I work with are really, really good individuals. So they're not all just salesmen. Some of them are real practitioners. And yes, the majority of them that are coming up today, they're told to sell, they're told how to sell. So there's a difference.
So, thank you, David, for that, because I don't want to paint everybody in the brokerage industry that they're black knight, just 1.100%. Jesus said you be extra cautious. They have to prove to you they are otherwise. So be very careful when somebody says to you fee-based, because it means they can charge fees and they can charge commissions.
That's right.
And fee offset, what does that mean?
Well, if you, sometimes we will say to a client that under your circumstances, we'll charge you $1,000 a year for everything we discussed, doing the following things. And if there's any fee that's charged by the firm, Pershing in my case, or our custodians, if there are other fees, we can offset those. So we'll absorb those.
What if I said, what I'd like is that, why should I pay you if you're going to lose me money? Can't I just pay you if you are successful in doubling my money?
Well, you can do that. There are different qualifications, usually accredited investors can do that. You get paid. You don't get paid unless you make at least a profit, and then you can get 20% of those. We don't do that. There are some people that hedge funds are the classic example of who does that.
For that kind of a compensation structure, please stay away from performance-based financial advisors. Why? Because you cannot control risk. In other words, hey, the market is down 20%. I've invested $100,000 with you. Your value of your account is now valued at $80,000. And hey, I need to eat next month. Why not put $30,000 to $40,000 in a gold fund so I can maybe collect some monies performance-wise for your account? You cannot, on the performance-based fee structure, control risk. And that's the downside to performance-based investing. So you need to understand, how is the individual that you're working with compensated? Make that the first 15, 20 minutes of your conversation with an advisor so that you can thoroughly understand how they're getting paid.